My fiancé told me he was working double shifts to save for our wedding. I believed him even when he started showering twice a day and coming home smelling like strange perfume. I found a hotel key in his jacket, so I went there on a rainy Tuesday. He was in the lobby kissing my maid of honor. I waited until the wedding day to confront them, at the altar, in front of 143 people. I'm 32. Born and raised in Shreveport, Louisiana. I've worked as a dental assistant since I was 22. My life's been pretty average, up until last year, when everything flipped upside down. I met Aaron 4 years ago. He worked in shipping and receiving at a warehouse about 20 minutes from my apartment. I met him at the dentist's office where I worked. He came in with a chipped front tooth. Said he broke it while opening a beer bottle at a party. He laughed at himself the whole time. I remember thinking, this guy's an idiot, but he's cute. He asked me out before he left. He had this confident way of talking, like he already knew I'd say yes. And I did. We dated for 3 years. Moved in together after the first. He wasn't rich, but he worked hard. He always said he wanted to build a life with me. He talked about kids, about buying a house, even though our savings barely covered our bills most months. He proposed at his aunt's lake house in Texas. It was quiet. Just us, a cheap ring, and the water. I cried when he asked. It felt real. Like everything I'd waited for finally made sense. I had no idea who I was really with. The first sign that something was off came about 6 months before the wedding. Aaron started picking up extra shifts. He said he wanted us to have a big wedding, 143 guests, live band, open bar, custom suits. I told him we didn't need all that. But he insisted. You've waited your whole life for this, he told me. Let me give it to you. He started leaving earlier, coming home later. He was always tired. Always distracted. I tried to be understanding. Then came the new habits. He started showering twice a day. Before work and after. He never used to do that. His laundry started smelling weird. Not bad, just off. I'd catch a whiff of something floral. Not his cologne. Not anything I wore. I told myself I was being paranoid. Melissa told me to chill out. You know how guys get when they're stressed, she said. Aaron wouldn't cheat on you. Melissa had been my best friend since we were 14. We'd been through everything together, high school breakups, family deaths, road trips, messy college nights. She was going to be my maid of honor. I trusted her. With everything. But that trust started to crack the night I found the hotel key. It was a Tuesday. Aaron got home around 11 p.m. Said work had been slammed. I made him a sandwich and went to do laundry. I grabbed his jacket and felt something hard in the inside pocket. It was a key card. Holiday Inn. Room 214. No note, no explanation. My stomach dropped. I stood there staring at it for a full minute before I slid it into my pocket. The next morning, I called out sick from work. Drove to the hotel around 10 a.m. It was pouring. Heavy, cold rain. The kind that soaks through your shoes in seconds. I parked across the street and waited. At 10:46 a.m., I saw them. Aaron. And Melissa. They walked out of the elevator like nothing was wrong. Laughing. She was holding his hand. He kissed her near the coffee station in the lobby. Right in front of everyone. I sat in my car, watching them like a movie I never wanted to see. My heart didn't break in that moment. It shut off. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I didn't even confront them. I just drove home and sat in the dark. For 3 hours, I thought about everything. Every lie he told. Every fake smile she gave me. And I decided right then, I wasn't going to cancel the wedding. I was going to finish what they started. And I was going to do it in front of everyone. I didn't sleep much that night. I laid in bed next to Aaron, listening to him breathe like nothing had happened. He kissed my shoulder before he fell asleep. Told me he loved me. I felt sick. For the next few weeks, I acted normal. I played the perfect bride. Smiled through the cake tastings, picked out flower arrangements with Melissa, let Aaron ramble on about seating charts and centerpieces. Every time they looked at me, I smiled back like I didn't know they were screwing behind my back. Melissa never said a word about that Tuesday morning. Neither did I. But something in her eyes shifted. She was quieter. Almost scared. Good. I started setting things up behind the scenes. First, I called the photographer, a friend of mine from college named Dean. I told him to make sure he was filming the ceremony. Not just pictures. Video. Full audio. He said it'd cost extra. I said, charge me double. Just make sure you catch everything. Then I updated the program. A little surprise I added the night before it went to print. Most people wouldn't notice it at first glance. But I knew it'd get attention when it mattered. 2 weeks before the wedding, Aaron came home with a smile. Told me he had a bachelor surprise planned for the night before. I told him to go have fun. Told him I trusted him. He didn't even flinch. The night before the wedding, I didn't sleep. Again. I laid out my dress, went over my vows one more time. Then ripped them up and wrote new ones. Real ones. When the wedding day finally came, it was hot. Late September in Louisiana hot. My dress was thick and heavy, and I was sweating through it before noon. But I kept calm. People showed up early. My mom was crying happy tears. My dad looked proud. Everyone was buzzing with excitement. Aaron looked sharp in his tux. Melissa was glowing in her maid of honor dress. She smiled at me with shaking hands. She must have thought I'd never found out. She was wrong. The music started. People sat down. The band began playing that soft instrumental stuff that sounds like a movie score. I stood behind the big wooden doors with my dad. You ready? He asked. More than ever, I said. We walked down the aisle. All 143 guests stood up and turned to watch. Cameras flashed. Phones were out. I could see Aaron grinning at the altar. He had no idea. The pastor started talking. It was all a blur. I kept staring at Melissa. She was pale. She avoided eye contact. I looked at Aaron. He looked proud of himself. When it was my turn to speak, I took a deep breath. I looked at the pastor, then the crowd. Before I say my vows, I said, I want to tell a little story. The room went quiet. 6 months ago, Aaron started working double shifts to pay for this wedding. At least, that's what he told me. I believed him. Even when he started coming home smelling like perfume that wasn't mine. Even when he stopped touching me. Even when he started lying straight to my face. Murmurs started. Aaron froze. I told myself I was just being paranoid. Until I found the hotel key in his jacket. Room 214 at the Holiday Inn. I went there. I saw him with someone else. Melissa's eyes filled with tears. Melissa, I said, locking eyes with her, you've been my best friend since we were kids. I trusted you more than anyone. And you were the one I saw in that lobby, kissing my fiancé. Gasps. Loud ones. Someone said, oh my God. I looked back at Aaron. You lied to me. Both of you. You stood up here thinking I'd marry you anyway. But I'm not. I turned to the crowd. And by the way, if you check your programs under the special thanks section, you'll see a little surprise. Guests flipped open their booklets. Right under special thanks, it read, to Aaron and Melissa, may your affair be as short as your loyalty. The room exploded. People started whispering, yelling. Aaron's mom stood up, screaming at him. Melissa ran off crying. Aaron tried to grab my arm. I pulled away. "You made me look like a fool," I said. "Now you know how it feels." And then I walked off the altar. Not out of the building. Not yet. Because I had one more move left. People didn't know what to do. Some followed me out, trying to figure out if it was part of the ceremony. Others just sat there, stunned. You could hear a pin drop under the sound of whispered gossip and a few people recording on their phones. I didn't care. I had one more piece left to play. Out in the hall, my cousin Sarah was waiting by the reception doors. She handed me a USB drive. She'd helped me with the last step. The reception hall was already set up. Tables decorated, buffet ready, champagne chilled. But there was one thing nobody expected. A projector screen on the wall. The DJ looked confused when I walked over and handed him the USB. "Play the file marked 2 p.m. reveal, just turn the music down a bit when you do." You sure?" "Very." He nodded and slipped it into his laptop. The video started playing within 5 minutes. It was edited together by Dean, my photographer friend. Black screen at first. Then bold white text, "This is what really happened while I was planning our wedding." Then came the footage. Security footage from the hotel lobby. Aaron and Melissa walking out of the elevator, laughing, kissing. Clear as day. Timestamped. Then screenshots. Text messages Melissa accidentally sent to me instead of Aaron 3 weeks ago. She deleted them before I could reply, but I'd already saved them. One read, "I can't believe she's buying it. She's planning a wedding for us and doesn't even know it." The room erupted. Someone dropped a drink. A few older relatives gasped like they were watching a crime. I stood in the back corner, arms folded. Aaron came storming in halfway through the video. His face was red, his tie loosened. "What the hell are you doing?" he shouted. The mic was still live. I grabbed it. "I'm giving everyone the truth you didn't have the balls to tell them. You're making a scene." "No. You made a scene when you decided to cheat on me with my best friend. I'm just giving it a proper audience." Melissa showed up minutes later, crying and begging me to stop. Her makeup was smeared. "Please, this isn't you, you're right," I said. "This isn't me. But it's who you two made me." I turned to the guests. "Enjoy the food. It's already paid for. Drink, dance, take selfies with the liars if you want. Me? I've got better places to be." And I walked out. But this wasn't over yet. I walked straight to my car, still in my wedding dress. The Louisiana heat stuck the satin to my skin, but I didn't care. I sat there for a minute, just breathing. Then I drove. Not home. Not to my parents' place. I went to the bank. Because while Aaron was busy cheating and lying, I was busy protecting myself. A few months earlier, I'd opened a separate account. Just in case. Something told me I might need it. I had moved half our wedding savings there, quietly. I told him it went to the caterer. He never asked for proof. That money was now all mine. And so was the lease to the apartment. Another thing he never thought to double-check, I was the only name on the lease. He moved in with me. Which meant after everything, I could still control the final blow. I got a locksmith on the phone. Scheduled them for the next morning. That night, I stayed at my cousin's place. I didn't sleep. I watched the video again. And again. The more I watched it, the less I felt like a victim. I didn't cry. I didn't miss him. I didn't miss her. I just felt done. The next day, I met the locksmith at 8 a.m. sharp. Changed every lock. Then I boxed up his things. Every sock, every t-shirt, every photo. I put it all in garbage bags and stacked them outside the front door. At noon, I sent him a text, "Your stuff is on the porch. The locks are changed. I suggest you get it before the rain." He showed up 2 hours later. I watched from the window as he stood there, stunned, knocking like it mattered. Then he yelled. Cursed me out loud enough for the neighbors to hear. Said I was cruel. Said I embarrassed him. I stepped outside and said, "No. You embarrassed yourself. You just didn't expect me to hit back." He left with the bags. Drove off without another word. Melissa tried to call me. I never picked up. She texted for days. Long, pathetic messages about how she didn't mean for it to happen, how they fell in love, and how she hoped I'd understand one day. I blocked her. 2 weeks later, I got a wedding refund from the venue. Not the full amount, but enough to fly to California and spend a month with my sister. During that time, I changed my number. Deleted every photo of Aaron. Tossed the wedding dress into a donation bin and never looked back. It took months to get my peace back. But the revenge? That only took one afternoon. People still talk about my wedding. The one where the bride exposed the affair at the altar. Someone uploaded the video. Last I checked, it had over 1 million views. Aaron moved 2 towns over. Lives alone now. Lost a lot of friends. Melissa had to quit her job. Turns out sleeping with your best friend's fiancé doesn't make you very popular. As for me? I'm still healing. Still angry some days. But I'm free. And that's the part they never expected. I didn't just leave them behind. I buried them in truth. In front of everyone. And I did it in white.